Agree. Morning, everybody. Please be reminded to keep your phones on silent. These proceedings are also going to be recorded for documentary purposes. Thank you very much. Morning, everybody. We'll be starting the proceedings in 5 minutes. Be reminded to keep your phones on silent. Again, a reminder, proceedings are being recorded for documentation purposes. We will be starting in 2 minutes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2026 Annual Stockholders Meeting of China Bank Savings, being conducted in person, the CBS head office in Makati, and virtually via MS Teams. I am Warren de Guzman, Head of Customer Experience, Marketing Services, and Sustainability, and I am your MC for today's proceeding. Let us now all rise for the national anthem. T. Alday Jr., Mr. Herbert T.C. Jr., and our independent directors led by Mr. Philip S.L. Tai, Ms. Claire Antilla, Mr. Enaro V. Lapez, and Mr. Antonio S. Espedido Jr. Also with us physically and virtually are members of the bank's management team, including our retail banking group head, Mr. Jan Nicolai M. Lim, controllership group head, Mr. Luis Bernardo A. Puhawan, APD lending group head, Mr. Neil C. Humawan, human resources division head, Attorney Josephine F. Fernandez, consumer lending group head, Ms. Christine Michelle C. Broadhurst, and SME lending group head, Ms. Brenda S. Santiago. Our corporate secretary, Attorney Arturo Jose M. Constantino III, our executive officers, and representatives of our external auditor, CSIP Torres Velayo and Company, are also present. Another round of applause, please. We now give the floor to our chairman of the board, Mr. Ricardo Archua, for the official conduct of the meeting.
Good morning, everyone. This year we are holding our annual stockholders meeting in hybrid format, combination of in-person and remote attendance. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm now calling the meeting to order. May we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the routinary roll call or the calling of the list of the present stockholders, whether present or through proxy, be dispensed with.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Next on our agenda is the proof of notice of meeting. Have we sent the required notice of meeting, Mr. Secretary?
Good morning, everyone. We appreciate your presence here today. Maraming salamat. Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have notified our stockholders about this meeting in accordance with the bank's bylaws, Securities and Exchange Commission Memorandum Circular Number 6, Series of 2020, Sections 23, 49, 50, 57, and other related provisions of the Revised Corporation Code, and SEC notice dated March 11, 2026, on the alternative mode for distributing documents in connection with the holding of the annual stockholders meeting for 2026. The notice of today's meeting and information statement were submitted to the SEC on May 22, 2026. We have also published the notice of meeting in the Philippine Star, OneNews.ph, Philippine Daily Inquirer, and Inquirer.net in print and online formats on May 19 and 20, 2026. Likewise, Mr. Chair, the electronic copies of our information statement, management report, annual report, and other pertinent documents are available on our website, www.cbs.com.ph.
Number 3 on our agenda is the certification of quorum. Do we have a quorum, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I hereby certify the existence of a quorum for this meeting. Based on the records, out of a total number of 125,414,149 subscribed and outstanding shares, the holders of 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% shares, are present by proxy through remote communication or in absentia. Such number represents more than 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock of the bank. The final count of attendees will be reflected in the minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of the 2025 annual stockholders meeting held on June 19, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of last year's annual stockholders meeting and for the approval for legal intents and purposes of the said minutes.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, we have opened the voting period until the adjournment of today's meeting. For each agenda item submitted to a vote, we will display on the screen the resolution and initial votes tabulated. The final votes will be reflected in the minutes. And based on the votes cast so far, 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% of the shares represented in this meeting, voted to approve the minutes of the annual meeting of stockholders held on June 19, 2025. The resolution is considered approved, Mr. Chair.
Next on our agenda is the approval of the increase in authorized capital stock of the bank. In its regular meeting held on June 19, 2025, the Board of Directors approved the said increase in connection with the updates made on the bank's recovery plan, provide flexibility in raising capital as an option to address business and regulatory requirements. I now call on our Corporate Secretary to provide the details of this proposal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The proposal is to increase the authorized capital stock of China Bank Savings Inc. by 5 billion pesos, equivalent to 50 million common shares. Currently, ladies and gentlemen, the bank's authorized capital stock is 14 billion pesos, divided into 134 million common shares and 6 million preferred shares, with a par value of 100 pesos per share. After the increase, the authorized capital stock of CBS will be 19 billion pesos, divided into 184 million common shares and still 6 million preferred shares. The par value of CBS shares remains the same. Correspondingly, Article 7 of our amended Articles of Incorporation will be updated to reflect this new capitalization, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the increase in the authorized capital stock of the bank to 19 billion pesos and the corresponding amendment to the seventh article of the bank's Articles of Incorporation be approved.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, based on the votes cast so far, 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% of the shares represented in this meeting, voted to approve the increase in authorized capital stock of the bank to 19 billion pesos and the amendment to the seventh article of the bank's Articles of Incorporation. The resolution is considered approved.
The next item on the agenda is the annual report to our stockholders. To provide information about your bank's activities, business and financial performance, and other relevant data for the year 2025, I now request our President, Mr. James Christian D., to deliver his report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our shareholders, members of the board, valued clients, partners, and colleagues. It is my privilege to present the President's report for 2025 on behalf of China Bank Savings. Let me begin with our performance for the year. Despite a challenging environment, 2025 was another strong and sustainable year for CBS. Our performance was supported by three key drivers: the resilience of our franchise, the continued trust of our customers, and the commitment of our employees. For 2025, CBS recorded a net income of 2.41 billion, up 11% year-on-year, driven by steady growth in our core lending business. Importantly, this marks our fifth consecutive year of record earnings since 2021, underscoring the consistency of our franchise. Our 2025 theme reflects this trajectory of steady and resilient growth, much like bamboo, strengthening as it grows through changing conditions. These results were achieved through disciplined execution, strong governance, and consistent risk discipline across the organization. The Philippine economy grew by 4.4% in 2025, reflecting a more moderate environment amid political uncertainty and climate-related disruptions. During the year, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas continued its easing cycle, reducing policy rates by 125 basis points, bringing total cuts to 200 basis points over 2024 and 2025. While lower rates supported credit activity, overall demand remained cautious across households and businesses. In this environment, CBS maintained a disciplined lending approach, focusing on creditworthy APD, consumer, and SME segments, while ensuring strict underwriting standards. This allowed us to grow responsibly while preserving asset quality and balance sheet strength. Our our financial position remained solid. Total assets grew by 15% to 217.6 billion, supported by sustained momentum across key businesses. Our customer base expanded by 15.5% to approximately 1.18 million, comprising 361,000 borrowers and 822,000 depositors. This growth reflects continued trust in CBS as a financial partner for Filipino households and enterprises. We also maintained our position as the second largest thrift bank in the Philippines by total assets, reinforcing our industry standing. Our lending business remains strong, with total loans increasing by 13% year-on-year to 153.5 billion, driven by APD, consumer, and SME segments. Asset quality remained well controlled, with an NPL ratio of 2.86%, significantly below the industry average of around 6%, reflecting disciplined underwriting and strong collections. On the funding side, deposits grew by 15% to 192.19 billion, reinforcing the strength of our funding base. We continue to hold our position as the largest thrift bank in deposits, a leadership position maintained since 2024. CASA deposits increased to 52.7 billion, supporting a stable and low-cost funding structure. Overall, these results reflect a balanced franchise, combining growth, strong asset quality, and stable funding. CBS remains strongly capitalized, with total capital increasing by 19% to 21.28 billion, supported by sustained profitability and internal capital generation. During the year, we also completed our 2 billion capital buildup program, including the final 1 billion infusion from China Banking Corporation. This strengthens our capital base and enhances our ability to support future growth while maintaining prudent buffers. A strong capital position remains central to our resilience and ability to pursue opportunities in a disciplined manner. We continue to expand our reach and capabilities. Our branch network reached 175 branches by end 2024 and further expanded to 190 branches as of June 2026. At the same time, we are evolving toward a more integrated distribution model that combines branch-like units, and lending centers. On the digital side, 2025 marked the first full year of our AI-powered chatbot, now providing 24/7 customer support and improving service continuity. We also implemented key digital initiatives, including Sync HR1 and the APD Smart application, which enhanced onboarding, efficiency, and internal productivity. These initiatives reflect our continued focus on improving customer experience and operational scalability. Beyond financial performance, CBS remains committed to broader social impact. In 2025, we supported education initiatives amounting to over 20 million, including Brigada Escuela, National Teachers Day, in partnership with the Department of Education. CBS also continued its financial wellness advocacy and has now conducted close to 70 seminars, reaching approximately 3,000 participants across various communities over the last 3 years. These programs promote financial literacy and resilience, reinforcing our commitment to inclusive and sustainable growth beyond traditional banking. Looking ahead, we remain cautiously optimistic. While global uncertainties persist, the domestic economy continues to be supported by sound fundamentals, stable policy direction, and resilient demand. We are encouraged by our performance in the first quarter of 2026, where CBS recorded net income of 631.2 million, up 11.5% year-on-year and ahead of target. As of March of 2026, total assets stood at 217.3 billion, while total loans reached 155.5 billion. These results reinforce our steady growth trajectory. Moving forward, we remain committed to disciplined growth, prudent risk management, operational excellence, and long-term value creation. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire China Bank Savings Organization, thank you for your continued trust and support.
Thank you, James. May we have the motion on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the annual report, which is available on the bank's website and just reported by the President, be approved.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, based on the votes cast so far, 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% of the shares represented in this meeting, voted to approve the annual report. The resolution is considered approved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let us proceed to the next item on the agenda. Number 7 on the agenda is the approval of the bank's audited financial statements. In his annual report earlier, President James Christian D. presented the financial performance and changes in the bank's financial position for the year 2025. May we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2025, which is in the definitive information statement and posted in the bank's website, and which the President covered in his report, be approved.
Second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, based on the votes tallied so far, 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% of the shares represented in this meeting, voted to approve the audited financial statements. The resolution is therefore approved.
The next item on the agenda is the ratification of all acts of the board, executive committee, other committees, and management. Do we have a motion?
I move that all the acts of the Board of Directors, including the approval of the increase in the authorized capital stock, all related party transactions, as discussed in the definitive information statement and audited financial statements, the acts of the Executive Committee and the various committees of the bank and management for the fiscal year 2025 and immediately preceding this annual stockholders meeting be confirmed, approved, and ratified for all intents and purposes.
Mr. Chair, I second the motion.
Based on the votes tallied so far, 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% of the shares represented in this meeting, voted in favor of the ratification of actions as moved and seconded. Mr. Chair, the resolution is approved.
The next order of business is the election of the members of the Board of Directors for the year 2026 to 2027. The chairman of the Nomination and Corporate Governance Committees, Mr. Antonio Espedido Jr., will announce the nominees.
Morning, Mr. Chair. Based on the determination of the Nomination and Corporate Governance Committees, and as confirmed by the Board of Directors, following nominees for directors and independent directors were found to be fit and proper position. These possess all the qualifications and none of the disqualifications. Directors, the independent directors, their capabilities are aligned with the bank's strategic direction and the nominees of the director, Mr. Ricardo Archua, Ms. Nancy T. Young, Mr. James Christian T.D., Mr. Romeo T. Uyan Jr., Mr. Patrick T. Cheng, Mr. Aloysius Aladay Jr., Mr. Herbert P.C., and the nominees of independent directors are Mr. Philip S. L. Chai, Ms. Claire Ann P. Yap, Mr. Gerardo V. Lapes, and yours truly, Antonio Espedido.
Mr. Chairman, I move that for ensuing year, the bank shall have 7 regular directors and 4 independent directors, and the said 11 nominees, which was enumerated by the chairman of Nomination and Corporate Governance Committees, of which their respective profiles is listed in the definitive information statement, be declared duly elected directors.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes tallied so far, the 11 nominees have obtained sufficient number of votes for election. The number and percentage of votes garnered so far in favor of each director, based on the number of shares represented in this meeting, are shown on the screen.
The 11 nominees are hereby declared duly elected directors for the ensuing year. May I request the newly elected directors stand up and be recognized. Number 10 on the agenda is the appointment of the external auditor. May I ask the chairperson of the audit committee, Ms. Claire Anyap, to make the recommendation.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. The Audit Committee, composed of myself, independent directors Genaro V. Lapes and Antonio S. Espedido Jr., evaluated the performance of CICIP Gores, Velayo and Company and the bank's current external auditor in the past year and found it to be satisfactory. The Audit Committee, as well as the Board of Directors, agreed to endorse the reappointment of CICIP Gores, Velayo and Company as the bank's external auditor for the ensuing year.
Mr. Chair, I move that the reappointment of CSIP Gores Velayo and Company as the bank's external auditor for the ensuing year be approved, confirmed, and ratified.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman. Based on the votes tallied so far, 124,995,893 shares, or 99.67% of the shares represented in this meeting, voted in favor of the reappointment of CSIP Gores Velayo and Company as the bank's external auditor for the ensuing year. The resolution is therefore approved, Mr. Chair.
We are now opening the floor for further questions or any other matter that the body may want to raise. We will address the questions and comments from our stakeholders sent via email also. Let me now call on Mr. Warren de Guzman for this portion of the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge our friends in the media. Thank you very much for attending this morning. Please hold your questions until after the ASM. You will get a chance to interview your chairman and president later on the third floor. Now to address questions sent in by our shareholders. Addressed to President James. First question, what is the bank's outlook for 2026 considering 2 consecutive quarters of very slow growth and accelerating inflation stemming from geopolitical tensions in the Middle East?
Thank you, Warren. Thank you for the question. The operating environment is certainly more challenging today, with slower growth, higher inflation, and continued global uncertainty. That said, we remain cautiously optimistic. Our first quarter performance was in line with expectations. Asset quality remains healthy and deposits continue to grow. Net income grew, as mentioned, to 11.5% to 631.2 million. We are also continuing to invest in our branch network because we see opportunities to expand our reach and better serve customers. We opened 5 new branches and upgraded 10 branch-light units for a total of 15 branch openings so far this year. As a subsidiary of China Banking Corporation, we benefit from the strength and stability of a well-established banking group. Overall, while we maintain mindful of the risks, we believe the bank is well positioned to navigate the current environment and continue to grow responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is a follow-up question there. Will the bank pursue more branch openings later in the year?
Thank you once again. We already have identified a few additional locations, and these are in the pipeline. We will provide more information as our plans become final. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. One more question mailed in. Has the bank seen any evidence of economic stress, such as rising NPL ratios or reduced deposits?
At this point, we have not seen significant signs of stress in our portfolio. Our NPL ratio stood at 2.9% as of March 2026, well below the thrift bank industry average of 6.3%, while deposits grew 12% year-on-year to 191.4 billion. As a prudent measure, increased provisions for credit losses in the first quarter to more than double the level recorded in the same period last year. This strengthens our balance sheet and ensures we remain prepared for potential risks. At the same time, we continue to pursue growth opportunities, including expanding our branch network to support further growth in both loans and deposits. Overall, our portfolio remains healthy, customer activity remains strong, and we continue to balance prudent risk management with sustainable growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are now opening the floor for questions from our audience, both here and online, for our chairman. Any questions from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aryan, and my question is, have any medium or long-term plans been altered by the unexpected circumstances we are experiencing this?
Mr. Chair. Thank you for the question. We assure you that our plans are reviewed regularly by our board as well as by our various committees. During this review, we calibrate and adjust our plans and actions accordingly. Indeed, we acknowledge that the economy has slowed down mainly due to the geopolitical tension in the Middle East and the uncertainties brought about by the political development in the country. As a result, we're giving more emphasis on our risk management policy and approaches and put more focus on our asset preservation strategies. While we observe this short-term downturn in the economy, we continue to address the long-term structural need of the bank. As mentioned by the President, we continue to expand our distribution network and at the same time pursue and address the needs of our SME customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have time for one more question from the audience. Yes, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I am Christine, and my question is, in terms of technology, are digital banks posing a bigger threat to CBS or the thrift banking space in general?
Thank you for the question. I believe the main advantages of digital banks are convenience, accessibility, and offering of higher interest. Our bank today can match them or even do better in terms of convenience and accessibility. While it is true that they can offer higher interest rates, they can cut down their network expenses. We are able to offer better services and quicker human responses using this network and branches. Moreover, we offer unparalleled dependability of being there with our customers, especially when problems arise. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, everybody, for your time. That concludes our question and answer session. As mentioned in the guidelines for participation in this meeting, which was posted on the bank's website and included in the information statement, any questions or comments submitted and received not addressed this morning shall be answered directly by email to the stockholder concerned. We will reply directly by email to all other questions from other stockholders. And for any other questions or concerns, you may send them through the email address on screen now. Mr. Chair?
Thank you, Warren. If there are no other matters to be taken up, may I have a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Chair, there being no other business to transact, I move that the stockholders meeting be adjourned.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and Management of China Bank Savings, we express our gratitude to all those who participated in this morning's meeting. Thank you, everyone, for your continued support.
Having a photo op, no? More?
Management.
Management.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I think we have refreshments outside. Please feel free to help yourselves. Salamat.